So I thought I'd take the time and point something out. I'm going to show you, I'm going to demonstrate to you, because that just so happens that I have a fuller footage of an incident that would easily turn into a narrative if the mainstream media were able to get a hold of it, which they assuredly can because I found it on Facebook. So here's the first clip.
Gotta teach him now. I gotta get your number. I don't. He was biting the boy penis.
What did you see there? Well, the narrative, if the media were to get a hold of it and do their thing, which they're good at, and it'll probably happen in, say, a month or two, maybe the local media will get a hold of it, or maybe Black Lives Matter will take a hold of it and do their thing. But you'll hear the narrative. An unarmed black man was viciously assaulted by a white police officer. He sicked his dog on this man, and the dog ravaged him and bit him in the genitalia or some shit. So you really can't see where the dog got a hold of him. It looks like he got his nut sack, though, and I'm pretty sure that's not going to feel good. But it looked like the inner thigh, maybe, and that's not going to feel good either. There's actually a pretty significant vein there, so if you got a chunk of that, it could have killed the guy, actually. The guy could have died from a dog. And then those two women that were over there, they kept on hovering, they kept on pressuring, they kept on doing shit, they kept on egging on. But the narrative would be, those two women were just trying to help the man that was just viciously assaulted by this policeman and his dog. Can't believe these people. The freaking white police officer did something and just viciously assaulted this unarmed black man for no reason. And they'll make sure they let you know that he is an unarmed black man, as if unarmed is non-threatening. Now here's the full context.
Jesus. Gotta teach him now. I gotta get your number. I don't. He was biting the boy penis.
Did you notice something different? The attitudes of the two black men that were sitting there? Because you didn't see the other black men, did you? You also didn't know that one of them actually took a swing at the cop, tried to knock him out, because he had the other one down trying to arrest him. And here's the thing that annoys me the most. The camera is a third person. Somebody whipped out their phone, started recording. Well, what happened before the cops were called? Why were the cops there in the first place? The cops don't randomly show up to a restaurant, and that clearly is a restaurant, without somebody calling them first. It's not like he was in the parking lot and said, hey, there's some black people, we're going to go fuck them up. No, they were called there for a reason. And from the behavior of those two guys, I think a fight started out. And now that the cops are there, the fight is directed toward the cop. And I saw another cop car roll up. Well, K9 unit was released. Now, the right's narrative is this guy deserved it. He was fighting with the cops, blah, blah, blah. The left will be, oh my God, unarmed black men, and they'll only look at the half of the footage that I showed you earlier. The narrative fallacy would be to show you half of that footage. The bigger narrative would be what got them called to the restaurant in the first place? Why are they there? Who called them and why? What were these people doing? Were they all fighting in the parking lot and then the cops called and showed up? Was the cop driving by and saw a fight in the middle of the parking lot and decided to intervene because it's his job? What say you? Who knows, right? Well, that's the problem with the narrative fallacy. That's the problem with the whole media in general. That's the problem with cameras and what they capture. Take the Covington kids, for example. Everybody knows about that story, right? All you saw was a smug little kid standing there while the guy beat a drum in his face. And then you heard the narrative from the guy beating the drum. He got in my face and he would not move, and it was very disrespectful, and they were there to protest the American government taking our native land or some shit. I can't remember what he even said. It didn't matter to me anyways because I knew he was lying. I looked for the real footage. And that just so happens to be that the Black Israelites, the very racist group that they are, filmed the whole thing, from them walking over all the way up into them getting in front of the kid's face and everything in between. And because they happen to be wearing the new KKK hood, the Make America Great Again hat that everybody seems to think is a racist hat, even though it isn't, because they saw that, everyone jumped on the bandwagon to destroy these kids. And then the real footage came out and they went, oh, let's not show that. It'll make us look bad. No one does their job. In the mainstream media, you will be surprised to find anybody that does their job. That's the bigger problem. No one looked for the more footage. No one looked for the reason why the cops were called. No one bothered asking questions. No, they just ran the footage and ran the narrative. Why not? It gets clicks and views, right? That's the funny part about this video. In fact, I'm showing you the full footage. At least the part that's available on Facebook. Where's my clicks and views? That video that I took off of Facebook got 1 million. Well, I hope this was educational, because this is what happens every single time. You get a clip of a clip, not even the full footage, just a part to make you think something is going on when it isn't, to give you the narrative that things are going on when they aren't. But in reality, a whole bunch more shit happened that you don't know about. Take the last incident where a guy got shot up. He pulled out a gun on the cop and tried to shoot him point blank, and the cop was lucky to be alive because the dumbass missed. And then he died. What you didn't see was him pulling out the gun on the cop. All you got to see was the clip of him getting shot up. That's it. You don't know anything else about it. Or the other one where the guy was sitting in a car and the cops lit him up. All you saw was the cops shooting at him in the car from a camera across the street. What you didn't know is he had a 9 in his hand and pointed it at the cops from inside the car saying, fuck you, kill me. So he could be a martyr too, for the cause. As if anybody is going to sit in their car in 110-degree weather. It'll be 150 in that fucking car. That's how babies die, let alone people. People die that way too. Babies are more susceptible because they can't get out of the fucking car. People can, but it's not going to stop the heat stroke if you stay in there. This guy was sitting in a parked car because He stabbed somebody not months prior and got away. Well, he came back, I guess, to finish the job on this other guy who called 911 again because the guy was there to kill him. And then he ran a block away. We found him. And there he was sitting in the car with a 9. So he was off to go kill somebody and ended up being killed. Same narrative fallacy. They only showed you what they want you to see. So I thought I'd just do that to demonstrate something. That is the mainstream media. The Fox, the CNN, the MSNBC, the NBC, the CBS, all of them do this. USA Today does this. Washington Post, all of them. New York Times, Good Morning America, all of them. Every last one of them show you what they want you to see. If you don't remember the little quote from one of the CNN anchors, it's as if Trump was going to try and tell them the truth and tell them what we want them to know and control the population. And that's our job. That's what she said. I mean, the previous thing, not 100% accurate, obviously. But she did say it's her job to control the American public, to tell them what they want us to hear, to let us know just enough to manipulate the people. Well, the internet exists, and people should break out of their goddamn bubbles. Seriously. The only way you're going to see everything and understand more and not be fooled by these sons of bitches is to step out of your bubble. Quit trusting the lamestream for first. And look for the full footage. Question everything. That's a lesson that I taught my kid early on. And I teach all my kids the same. It gets annoying after a while, I have to admit, because they question me all the goddamn time. But I'd rather them question than go blindly. The problem is I have to make sure that I say something other than because I said so, because that's not going to fly with them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time.
There is an old saying, out of sight, out of mind.